Emotions run high. A Fortuner doesn't roll. A Jeep makes it up a hill. A man takes some ladies for a spin. A Toyota FJ drives through some sand. A former champion scores 0. And a Suzuki Jimny actually spins. The Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge is back, featuring a few nips and tucks to the rules, really tough 4x4 challenges, and bags of fun for the whole family. Before we get stuck into the action, here's a quick overview of the changes for the 2016 season. The series kicks off with 4 qualifying rounds, all based at the McCarthy 4x4 Club's track at the Rhino Park complex, east of Pretoria. Over 10 obstacles designed to test 4x4's driving ability and requiring a bit of finesse, teams needed to score a high average in their respective 4x4 clubs to ensure that they could advance to the next 4 rounds. There are 4 classes, standard and non-standard, and then also short and long wheelbase. The standard class is essentially for stock vehicles without any aftermarket traction aids, such as a retrofitted differential lock. In the non-standard class, anything goes. However, with a clear focus on near-standard production vehicles, only the standard vehicles will be eligible for the overall honours and prizes. Besides a bevy of some of Bridgestone's finest tyres, co-sponsors Opposite Lock and Frontrunner have some great products up for grabs for the winners of the respective standard classes. This year, Mitsubishi South Africa also joins the fray with a Pajero, in which invited media teams get to compete in the challenge. There's one last very important ingredient in the 2016 Club Challenge. They call him Saki Kutsia, and he's the man who designs the actual obstacles. As the teams were due to find out, Saki had plenty of surprises up his sleeve. Right, so let's get the show on the road. So we kick off with some sticking, some writing, some deflating, some writing, some talking, some inspecting and checking, and finally, some more writing. But enough of the admin. Let's go 4x4ing. This is Obstacle 6. Here, competitors have an option of 2 routes, a drive over a very rocky section for a maximum of 70 points, or the full fat option for 100 points. A drive down a very steep rocky section, over a wooden bridge, and then up a rather testing rocky patch. This is Andre Stradom, and he drives a Jeep Cherokee. His co-pilot Benny Putter is out on the track serving as pointsman. Andre has chosen to go for gold on the more difficult track over that bridge. Let's ride with Andre and Benny. And the Jeep's through. Andre also had an English dictionary ready for the interview.
That was lekker, man. Lekker. But it climbed, eh? No, that was very lekker.
This is Robert and Mike Pretorius, and they're in a Toyota Fortuner V6. They've decided to go for the lesser of the two evils and the 70-point option. They make it down the first rocky patch easily enough. The last climb is also dispatched without any hassles. But remember, they can only score a maximum of 70 points while taking the easier route.
Kom gaan naar die tannie toe, dan kry jy vir 'n skoor.
Okay.
This is Lawrence Dames and Dominique Kolevka's Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, called Froggy. Dominique is on pointsman duty, while Lawrence gives the Marshall Cruise lad a lift across the bridge.
Full increments. Hold it just like that. Little bit left. Left. Okay, come. 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 Speed. Come. 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 Come.
The Jeep makes it easily enough. This obstacle would, in upcoming events, cause a few heart-stopping moments.
It's nice to forget for the Jeep again.
Struggled a bit earlier, but loved that one. Awesome. Loved the rush.
Time to head to the shops. After the break, a Toyota nearly falls over, and the lady drivers show what they are made of. We're back at the Rhino Park complex east of Pretoria, and this is obstacle 4. It may be short in distance, but it's a whole lot of tricky. Our first customers are father and son, Garrick and Brandon Wilson, in a Toyota Fortuner D4D. Here, the team can take a bit of time to line up their vehicle at the first gate to obtain the ideal line through that very tight first turn. And off they go. And if you thought this obstacle is like, whatever, check out this perspective. Yep, you could land up with a headache if you rolled down there. The marshals at this obstacle have strict instructions though. If they spot any potential danger brewing, they'll intervene and help the driver through. So far, the Wilsons are doing a good job.
Fanny, you're like, what she's thinking of what? That's on your side.
And they are through. Only a few stops and a reverse and one dead pole, which the marshal has to resurrect. Here's another father and son team, Willem and Willem Joubert, in a very long Nissan hardbody bakkie. That tight turn, the drop-off and a hardbody. Let's see how this goes down.
Kan nie, pa, ons gaan van hierdie wal af.
The Jouberts make it through in one piece. Behind the steering wheel, Willem is quite philosophical about it all.
Very tough in a long wheelbase. Saki made it difficult for us now. But it was enjoyable. And learned a lot of things again today. That's the main thing.
This is Obstacle 5, a rocky climb up a mountain. Here, Route Master Saki Kutsia again offers the teams two options. A very tough 100-pointer over huge boulders that may kill a standard double cab bakkie, and a much easier alternate track with only 70 points on offer. This is Gareth Gonzalez and Chantal van Niekerk in an Isuzu Frontier V6. And not surprisingly, Gareth heads for the more realistic 70-point option. And the Isuzu is through, no worries.
Well done, all 70, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite easy. There's a bad step, and there's a big problem with diffs and transfer case catching it on the hill. So the 70, I took it, and yeah, at least we got full marks on the 70. Safer option.
With the vast majority of other teams also taking the easier 70 points here, let's move along to some lady power. And on this event, there was certainly plenty of that. This event featured no less than 3 lady drivers. Petro Bailefelt and her experienced co-driver, Eddie Harvey, came from afar to compete in a stock Toyota Prado. The team finished the day in 12th position in the long wheelbase class, beating several teams in machines with plenty more modifications.
That's scary.
Natalie Shepherd and co-driver Brett Bailey were in a standard Suzuki Jimny. And without differential lockers, Natalie has to give the Suzuki plenty of right foot here on obstacle 10. She does a grand job and finishes 6th position in the shorty class. And lastly, there were Karishma and Karuban Reddy in a large Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. With lockers on both axles and a very steady and accurate approach, Karishma did a grand job and would eventually finish on the podium. More on that a little bit later. After the break, the teams play in a giant sandpit. A former champ takes out poles, and we find out who won the first qualifying round of the 2016 Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge. This is Rhino Park's famous sandpit, and here Saki devised an interesting gymkhana test. Instead of just driving as fast as possible through the sand, the teams have a target time of 1 minute 20 seconds. So besides dodging poles, making sure they get through the right gates, and not getting stuck, the teams have to pace themselves to complete the gymkhana as close to the time as possible. As Rian Venter and Willy Smit in a Toyota Hilux demonstrate here.
Five seconds weg. 10 secondes nou. Steek hom. Ja. Nee, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! En 2, 2. 2 secondes.
Oh dear, they took 2 seconds too long, so lost a few points. This is Kobus Bernardi, and it must be said that Kobus is one lucky man. Not only does he have his co-driver Estelle Segal in the car with him, he also has her friend. Unfortunately, none of the ladies thought to keep track of time. So let's see how Kobus and the Fortuna do here. Michael Alves doesn't have a pretty girl next to him, but rather bearded wonder Ricky Rodriguez. We say wonder because not only will Ricky man his stopwatch, he'll also operate a camera and provide direction.
Tell me when you're halfway, because we had 50 seconds.
Got to pick it up. Okay,
pick
cool.
it up, pick it up. Go, 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 go. Okay, we got 25, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Slow down, 14, 13. Wait, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Too fast.
Too fast.
80
3,
seconds.
2, 1. And we're good. Too fast.
This is Obstacle 8, a tight technical business on a heap of sand, where the teams have to navigate themselves through a series of very narrow gates. And this is former Club Challenge champion Marko Marinkovic, with his dad, Joe, in the co-driver seat. Normally Marko is in a Mercedes-Benz Geländewagen, but for this event he swapped one German for another, a Volkswagen Amarok bakkie, and off he goes. On the way up, he takes out one pole. Then he takes out both at the next gate.
Speels wat nie.
Ons lokker stoot as te veel.
On the final climb, he takes out another one. So that's 0 points, and the marshal shows him where to exit the obstacle. In the cabin, Marko is wearing a bemused smile, while Dad Joe has a theory about it all.
Nee, maar dit is hierdie speeltjies wat nie wegvou nie, is onmoontlik.
Although the really big prizes are up for grabs at the challenge final in November for the overall performance of the teams, the top 3 standard class teams received some cool prizes in the qualifying rounds. And in third place overall were Kobus Erasmus and Eddie Liebenberg. And they win a cool spade and working light courtesy of Opposite Lock. In second place, and an outstanding performance by lady driver Charisma Reddy, who wins an MRO light bar from Opposite Lock. But the first winners of the year were Lawrence Dames and Dominique Kalevka in the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. The team wins a Bridgestone tyre voucher worth 10,000 Rand. That's it for the first event of the 2016 Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge. We leave you with some more sights and sounds of the first qualifying round, and we'll see you next week with plenty more action. Till then.